Yeah, hi there. These comments are for AB. I'm just using your initials for privacy purposes, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you sent me a message. I think that you subscribed to my newsletter for the 1,700 TOEFL words, and then after you got that message, you sent me an email. And you said, I need help for the reading and listening sections. What do I do? Well, you got to practice. That's exactly what you have to do here. And I'm going to tell you how you can do that. Now, I'm going to present what I think is a plan that can get you on track to helping you improve your academic English language proficiency. And eventually, if you need to take the TOEFL test, you will be able to do much better, not just in the reading and the listening sections, but also in the speaking and writing components of the TOEFL exam. Okay, first of all, let's talk about what you have to do specifically to improve your reading. Now, what I'm about to tell you, this can give you up to 7 or 8 points of improvement in the reading section of this test. Now, you may not get this improvement in 2 weeks or 1 month even, but maybe after 2 or 3 months, if you follow these 5 suggestions, you will be able to improve your reading. I promise you that. Okay, number 1, you might want to write these down. If you write things down, you're more likely to remember them, and then you can interact with this information later on. You need to start reading every day for about 45 minutes. This is very important. This is called extensive reading. Now, in this case, you're actually choosing the reading materials. Whatever you think is interesting to you, read it. It need not be TOEFL-related reading materials. Number 2, build your vocabulary. You should start studying vocabulary every day. That means looking at sentences, writing down sentences, getting some note cards, putting the words on note cards, putting the definitions, synonyms, antonyms. It's hard work, it can be boring, but you should start practicing vocabulary. That's number 2. Number 3, you need to work on building your reading speed. My suggestion is 300 words per minute or faster. This is what you need to do in order to be a good reader for college, for work, or for personal purposes, and especially during the TOEFL exam, you need to have an adequate reading speed. That adequate reading speed is about 300 words per minute. My 4th suggestion, you need to become familiar with the reading question types and the strategies for answering them during the TOEFL exam. This is important. Now, my fifth suggestion is, AB, is you should take some TOEFL level reading practice tests so you can mark your progress. Now, a lot of students already do that. They're already taking a lot of practice tests, but they haven't really done the extensive reading. They're not studying the vocabulary like they need to, and they have not increased their reading speed. So don't forget, the most important out of my 5 suggestions are the first 3. So let's recap again what I just said. Read every day for about 45 minutes. Improve your reading speed to 300 words per minute or more. Build your vocabulary. Become familiar with the reading question types and the strategies for answering them, and complete TOEFL level reading practice tests. Those are 5 suggestions. They will definitely help you improve your reading. Now let's talk about what I consider a plan to help you improve both your reading and your listening. So 60% of your time right now, you want to be doing these things, right? So I gave you some suggestions on how to improve reading. And let's start again. So you're reading every day. We'll say 45 minutes. Now number 2, you should also practice your listening every day. for about 45 minutes. Now, in this case, if you have English TV, you want to focus on news, documentary, history, and especially science programs. The more you listen to authentic types of listening materials, the better. The easier it's going to be for you. Your ears are going to get faster. Now, I'm going to give you 3 websites, too, that are going to be important for you. Randall Cyber Listening Lab is a good website. It actually has a lot of listening comprehension practice tests that you can take. So I'd recommend do all the lessons in this one. Depending on what your level is, you can start easy, medium, or difficult, but go through the lessons. Now, another website that the TOEFL suggests, it's National Public Radio. ETS suggests that you go here because if you go here, you can get the listening scripts also in some cases to what you're listening to. Now, the last one, which is also a great website for your listening practice, and you can learn a lot about things, TED Talks. There you go. Now, as you're doing your reading and your listening practice, you need to note take. You need to get down in note form the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Remember, as you start doing this, your note-taking is not going to be very complete, not even accurate. It takes a few months, but as you practice note-taking, you will get better and better at capturing the main points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, my next suggestion is, as you're doing the note-taking, the only reason that we take notes is we want to actively involve ourselves in the reading and the listening passages, and usually when we take notes, we need this information for a later time. We need to make use of this information. Here's what you can do. Using your notes, you can write 3 250-word academic summaries on a weekly basis. Remember that each summary should be about 250 words, and you're focusing on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, the 5th thing is you can actually use your notes again, and you can give maybe 3 oral summaries each week. Each oral summary can be about 60 seconds long, and I actually recommend that you record them so you can listen to them after you've done it. You can pay attention to your pronunciation. You can look at your language use, including grammar and vocabulary, and you can also pay attention to how you're organizing and developing your ideas. This is what the TOEFL refers to as topic development. Right? If you can do these things right now, 60% of your time you're going through these 5 suggestions here to begin improving your reading and your listening. It costs you no money at all. This is free. You can determine what the listening and the reading materials are. If you're methodic about this and you do this every day, usually after about 2 or 3 months, you will start to see significant results in your reading and your listening. But not just that, you're also improving your integrated writing and integrated speaking skills as well. Does that make sense? Now, you remember when I was telling you about reading that you needed to build your vocabulary, you needed to improve your reading speed, you needed to become familiar with the reading question types and the strategies and all of those things, right? Well, my online course has a really good reading section. I also have a great vocabulary section. So I recommend, if you're on a tight budget, you don't want to spend thousands of dollars in an intensive English program, you want to spend just a very small monthly payment, you can get a subscription to my online TOEFL course today, and you can start completing my lessons. Now think of it this way. My online TOEFL course is very different from many other online TOEFL courses you're going to see on the internet. Why is that? Because you can post speaking and writing practice tests, and you can get feedback from me. No joke. And this is at no extra cost. So if you need a TOEFL tutor, you need a TOEFL writing, a TOEFL speaking specialist, if you need someone who can continue to help you improve your vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking proficiencies, please consider joining my online course. Now, if you join my online course, here's what I recommend. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can use my course. So 40% of your time right now, what you can do is, I recommend that you go through first the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar lessons first. Do those lessons in my online course first. This is going to help you build your basic academic English language proficiency. Secondly, then you can go through the listening and the reading lessons of my course. And once you've done that, then you can move to the writing and speaking lessons. And this is it. So the main thing here is if you can follow right now, let's say you got 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day, whatever, however much time you have, but I would be honest with you, if you don't have at least 2 hours a day to study TOEFL, then you have to really consider trying to free up your day a little bit more, because you do need some time to work on your English abilities if you want to make significant progress. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does take time over a few months to really get some good results. You see what I'm saying? So during your day, you spend 60% of your time that you have to study going through my first 5 suggestions, and then 40% of your time right now you can follow my suggestions 6, 7, and 8, and then maybe every month or so what you can do, you can complete a full length TOEFL IBT practice test. Now, I don't have a full-length practice test in my online course. However, I do have another company that I have partnered with that does offer a 5-hour full-length IBT TOEFL practice test. You can take the practice test, and you will get subtotal scores in the reading, listening, speaking, and writing sections, and you will also get an overall score. You will get feedback on all of your 6 speaking tasks. You'll get specific feedback on both of your writing tasks, and then you can use that information really for 3 things. Think about it like this. This is maybe my 10th suggestion here. Actually, it's my 9th suggestion here. So, if you take a full-length practice test, 3 things are going to happen. Number 1, you become more familiar with the structure and the format of the TOEFL exam. That's a positive. Number 2, you get a chance to mark your progress. You get to see where you are. How close are you to your goal? For example, if you're a graduate student, maybe, you might want to get at least 80 or 81 on the TOEFL IBT out of 120, right? And some programs require over 100. So at least if you take the practice test, you can see how close you are to your goal. The third benefit of taking a full-length IBT practice test is you learn how to develop the strength and stamina needed to complete a 5-hour English test, which is certainly not easy to do, but as you practice and take some practice tests before the actual TOEFL exam, you learn to concentrate better in English on these longer practice tests. And there you go. So those are my comments for you. I think if you practice, if you follow my plan, you should get some pretty good results between 2 and 3 months, at which point you can take one of these full-length IBT practice tests to mark your progress. When you take the practice test, once you get your results, you can send me a quick email and tell me what your subtotal scores are, what your overall scores are. You can tell me what your goal is, and then I can give you some more advice at that point to tell you any adjustments you might need to make in your study plan in order to continue to get on track to reaching your goals. All right, AB, anyway, thank you for your comments, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.